Health San Antonio, the official healthcare partner of UTSA Athletics. By HEB, here, everything's better. By Chicken and Pickle, home of the UTSA Coaches Shows. By Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. By Credit Human, become a member today. Visit credithuman.com. By North Park Subaru, proud member of the Kalig Auto Group. By Cowboys Air Conditioning, the official HVAC partner of UTSA Athletics. And by Frostbank, we're from here. Now, live from Chicken and Pickle, here's the voice of the Roadrunners, Andy Everett.
Good afternoon and evening, everyone. It's time to talk UTSA basketball again for the next hour. Live from Chicken and Pickle, the home of the UTSA Coaches Shows. And UTSA, both the men's and women's team, back in action this week on Wednesday and Saturday. We'll tell you all about that coming up in just a bit. We're joined by Karen Aston, the UTSA women's basketball coach. We were just here a few days ago, and now you get ready.
We haven't done anything since then.
No, not much. But you have had to practice a little bit and get ready for a big road trip coming up and then a home game this week. So what have you worked on? How have you gotten better in the last few days?
Well, we were able to take a couple of days off, so I think that was really good. We have some kids that, you know, it was a long grind to get to the first half of conference play, and had a few dinged up, and it was good to be able to let them breathe for really 2 days. I mean, we typically get 1 day off a week,
right.
So we had an extra day. Had a chance to also kind of get back to basics on some things, have a day of skill work where the coaches could really hone in on some things that maybe we just haven't had time to do, extra shooting, those types of things, and hopefully we'll be fresh on Wednesday.
All right, let's talk about how you get better. You want to practices, obviously, and you got that time of the year where you're trying to also get the right amount of rest. And how do you balance all that out so that you're progressing, but at the same time not wearing the team out too much?
Yeah, there is a balance to it because if you don't keep your competitive edge, that's going to be an issue too. But I thought that the team did a pretty good job with that. I thought Saturday was a good day of skill work, and then we got back after it on Sunday. So I think that they understand when the whistle blows, when it's time to really get after it, and they're beginning to understand when we have a day that we're just working on skills. That's important too, to go at you're still going at a certain pace. You're just maybe not doing contact. So I think they're getting a grasp of situations like that, and we have a few more that you kind of pick and choose as you get deep into conference play when you know you're getting fatigued.
You got another Player of the Week honor this week with Nina. Talk about she had a good game last week. Jordan was slowed down a little bit with points, but another player that wins that honor. So I know you're proud to see somebody else get that as well as Jordan. Yeah,
it was well deserved. I mean, she was definitely the difference in our game on Wednesday and has been a huge difference for our team, period. And it's nice to see her be honored. And she's extremely important to us right now.
All right. I thought, the one thing that always we talk about great players, and you have arguably the best player in the league with Jordan. How does she make everybody else better? I was watching some of your practice the other day before the men's game, and she's 100% engaged in the team. Even when she's not running the play, you've got a different group out there, and not every superstar, not every star athlete can do that. Talk about her getting the rest of her teammates involved and how impactful that is.
Yeah, I think that's where she's matured the most. She maybe just wasn't as comfortable with her own self. But this year, she's really, and it's interesting that you notice that because it's probably her biggest level of growth has just been leadership and being able to speak in a language that they'll understand or speak in a tone that they're not going to, they're young sometimes and they don't know what to think about a player of her stature talking to them. And I think she's learned the nuances of leadership where you might talk to this one this way, but you have to kind of joke around with this one. And she's kind of, it's kind of what coaches do. I mean, she's becoming a coach on the team, and I think that's it's fun to watch her grow into that because it hasn't always been there.
And the other thing, too, is watching superstar players, your best player, allowing you to coach them, and that resonates throughout the rest of the team, and I'm sure that's a growing process. As she trusts you, you trust her, and, Pop always talks about, I wouldn't have had Tim Duncan be Tim Duncan if he didn't let me coach him, and she lets you coach him.
Yeah, something I've always enjoyed about her is that she wants to be coached. She doesn't she doesn't mind being pushed at all, and she understands, you know, that that's necessary sometimes for you. And I've never had an issue with her not letting me coach her, or not letting any of us coach her, really, to be honest with you. I mean, her biggest issue was always just, you know, she's so competitive that she sometimes had trouble controlling that, you know, from a sense of getting mad because things weren't going the way she wanted them to go because she's so competitive. She's learned to channel that differently this year and understand that, you know, you can't be like that all the time if you want your whole team to grow. And I think she's really grown in that area a ton.
On either a lighter or more serious note, however you want to look at it, you had a happy household yesterday with the Chiefs winning.
Yeah, it was a stressful household, needless to say. But yeah, I mean that's amazing. I mean, it really is. I know everybody thinks the refs bailed them out, but man, just to be in that situation that the Chiefs are in, to watch. I mean, I watched the shows that, you know, the different shows where they've chronicled him and mic'd him up, and Mahomes is an incredible leader.
I was going to ask you about
incredible leader.
That when I watch Mahomes, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Tom Brady, they seem to enjoy the moment. And the players that don't necessarily succeed in that hostile, high-pressure situation seem to be more frantic. Is that something that you've noticed in the star players that you've coached, that they just love being in the moment, win or lose? Because sometimes they're going to fail, but it doesn't bother them as much.
Yeah, I think some of it just is the amount of work that they put in. I mean, you can't get around the work. I say that all of the time, and the work gives you the confidence in your own self, and it okays you to be uncomfortable. And it's also a passion for the game. I mean, you can just tell the people that you just spoke about, they very clearly have an unusual passion for their craft, and it's fun to watch people like that play whatever sport it is. You don't even care what it is.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's just fun to a Tiger. I mean, it was Serena. I mean, you just couldn't go down the line, and their passion for what they do and how serious they take their craft is special.
All right, we've got more with Karen. We'll also introduce you to Cheyenne Rowe coming up in the next segment. If you're looking for a new or pre-owned car, then look no further than Ensira.com and shop every make and model in one location and get a great low Ensira price only at Ensira.com. It's the UTSA Basketball Radio Show on the UTSA Sports Network. season when the men's and women's basketball teams score 88 points or more at home. The Roadrunner fans can score $888. It's the $888 giveaway from Wayne Wright, the official entry attorney of UTSA Athletics. Register to win your $888 at goutsa.com/promotions. We're going to introduce you now to Cheyenne Rowe from the women's basketball team. Good evening. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Very good. Thanks for being out here with us this evening. And I would imagine being top the standings in the American Conference and the success you've had has made this a really fun year for you and your teammates. Talk about that, if you will.
You know, it's really it's great to have the teammates that I have. And when we all get together, when we play our game, when we play our UTSA game, it makes it easy to win.
Now, what's it like playing with Coach Karen here and the rest of the staff, and just kind of having the success that you see from all the hard work that you've been a part of?
You know, it's very easy when my coaches are helping me out. We're watching film. Coach Cam is getting in the gym with me, and when that happens, putting it to work, getting from the gym, from practice to the game, it's a great come out.
All right, I was reading a story about you, and you're more than just a basketball player. You got a lot of activities and a lot of things you like to do, including at a young age teaching yourself Japanese. Tell us that story.
Oh, there was this one anime I was watching, and they didn't have any subtitles, and they didn't have an English translation from the book, so I decided to teach myself Japanese so I could finish it.
How'd that go?
Pretty good, honestly. I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a pretty difficult language to learn too. So that's pretty cool too. And you're a reader. I read in this article that I think Sean wrote that you read a lot of books and very well versed in stuff.
I do read a lot of books. Yes.
Got any favorites?
Anything fantasy, honestly. Yeah.
Okay.
We
Karen,
don't read the same books.
Oh no, obviously not. Talk about her on and off the court. What does she bring to your team and part of the success that you all have had?
She definitely brings an unusual level of maturity. There's no question about it. You know, I mean, now you talk about production. Even last year, I thought that she just needed to get her feet on the ground and kind of understand what the expectations were. But she's just a very, very mature basketball player and a very mature young lady. So it's nice to have that mix of someone like Cheyenne that can help the young ones transition to what they're doing, but also just in practice every day. She has a calmness about herself. She pays attention to detail. Everything is important to her. Everything. So getting it right is important. You know, I think the challenge that she's probably would admit is that it's not going to be perfect all the time, and I think she'd love for it to be, and that's not the way sports works. But I think you can see that on the court too. I mean, you see the production and the efficiency that she plays the game with, and it's definitely a reflection of who she is.
Cheyenne, where'd that come from? Where'd you learn to have that mindset when you're playing and running your life as well?
I think it's from my parents, my entire family. We're all athletes, and we're all very competitive as well. So even playing video games, I hate losing in everything I do. So I think that's where it stemmed from.
And your parents both played basketball, is that right?
Yes, they did.
Talk about what you know about their basketball days.
I know my father was really good at basketball. My mother won a few awards in her school, so she's very good she was very skilled, winning all those awards, and you know, her athleticism came down to me, and yeah, that's where I got it.
All right, you started at James Madison, came here. Why the transfer, and how'd you get to UTSA?
I didn't really understand my role at James Madison, and when I went into the portal, Coach Karen and the other coaches reached out to me, and it was amazing seeing how much they brought to the table. You know, they made it feel like a family, and when I got there, it was. So it was amazing to see that.
All right, and you're from Canada, right? From Ontario?
I am, yes.
Talk about basketball there, and obviously the NBA has been present in Canada for a while, but Canadian basketball in general, how you get started as a kid in the sport and move up to where you are now at UTSA?
First, I started with soccer, and my parents told me to find a new sport, so they put me in basketball. And, you know, I was just practicing almost every day, mainly so I could play video games, but I was practicing every day, and then You know, it's a very small community as well, so almost everyone knows each other. Playing in OSBA, Ontario Scholastic Basketball Association. It's the high school league, and
Right.
and you know, it's because it's so small, you get to know everyone's play styles, so you learn how to defend certain people certain ways, and that's also helped me to defend people now, knowing the scout and everything.
What are you doing in class, in school? What do you want to do someday?
I want to be a psychologist. My biggest dream is a psychologist at NASA, but I don't know how well that's going to go, so
So psychology at NASA, how does that work?
I love all things space, and you know, it's just I want to surround myself with everything I love. So being a psychologist is something I want to do, and when I found out that it's something you could do at NASA, I was like, whoa. It's
So
a
if
game
anybody
changer.
has any NASA connections, call us. Call us.
Yeah, we need an internship there right away, don't we?
Absolutely.
Her upside.
I'm not going to space with her.
No,
though.
I'm
I
not
can
either. I'm
promise you
standing
that.
here. Talk about her upside and what more can we expect from Cheyenne?
A lot. I think she's just starting to kind of touch the surface of what she can become. I think that probably the biggest thing that she did this summer was just really like commit to the gym, and it may, you know, obviously I didn't coach her before, so she may have been doing that all along, but I saw a really remarkable difference in the amount of shots that she got up this summer. And we were just talking about that, about, you know, Kobe and all the great ones. Like, your work gives you confidence. It gives you a sense of, okay, I can take this shot. It doesn't matter whether coach likes it or not. I know I can make it. And that comes from work. It comes from time that you put in the gym. She spends a lot of time with Cam before, after. Like, she understands what she needs to do to get better, and she goes to work and does it. So, like, I'm excited to see now that she has a sense of confidence about who she is and what her role is on our team, like what she can do with it this summer and carry it forward to next year. And I think we're going to see a lot more, a lot of upside there.
Cheyenne, thanks so much for being with us tonight. All the best going forward, and keep up the winning.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. That's Cheyenne Rowe, one of UTSA's women's basketball players, and in action on Wednesday night as their road trip starts at South Florida. To save time after the game by ordering Taco Cabana online at tacocabana.com or on the MyTC loyalty app. Sign up for great rewards and exclusive offers only at Taco Cabana. And UT Health San Antonio is the official healthcare partner of UTSA Athletics. See UT Health San Antonio's brightest minds are making lives better at WeMakeLivesBetter.org. More of the Coaches Show coming up next on the UTSA Sports Network. honors the stars who serve in our military, is the official military appreciation sponsor of UTSA. We just visited with Cheyenne Rowe. In a little bit, we'll introduce you to Raekwon Horton. 2 stars of the hardwood with us tonight, and we're getting to know them better during our USAA Stars of the Week segment. And if you would like to win a gorgeous diamond ring for your favorite Roadrunner, America's Diamond is going to make that happen with the Love Your Roadrunner promotion. Go to goutsa.com/promotions and register today, and you could be selected to win an America's Diamond ring at the men's home basketball game next week, February 8th, right before Valentine's Day. The women are in South Florida on Wednesday night, and they're one of the top teams in the league, along with UTSA, and a historic program as well at South Florida. You got a tough game and a tough stretch coming up.
Yeah, it'll be a real telling stretch for all of us, I think, just because we're all kind of bunched up there at the top right now, and everybody's going head-to-head this week. So it'll be interesting to see how we come out of this. But, you know, South Florida definitely is the only people that we've talked about, and the only teams that we're worried about right now, and deservedly so. They're very good.
What do they do well? And I know that that coach has been there a long time, and they've got a long history.
Yeah, I mean they've been, you know, NCAA tournament team just about every year, other than last year, for quite some time, and they were picked to win the league this year. I mean at media day, a lot of people were talking about how they were a legitimate Sweet 16 contender, and they went through a gauntlet of a non-conference schedule, and you know, maybe, you know, you never know about confidence when you go through the type of non-conference schedule they put themselves through, but they're just very good. I mean, they're very solid. Their defense is really good, which I think is much improved from last year's team, and they can just score the ball in a lot of different ways. Their rebounding is really good. They're going to be quite a challenge for us.
I know your focus is on that game, but you'll be back home Saturday against Temple. The convo is becoming
It's rodeo day.
It is. Well, it's becoming a home field advantage, I think, more so than ever before for both teams. And I know Austin mentioned that on our post-game chat the other night, and I know you want a big house here Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, I've said it all along. If you get people in that gym, it's going to be hard to beat us, just because it's loud and they get into it. And I thought our crowd was great in our last game, and you know, rodeo day should be fun on Saturday. It was fun last year.
What's the next step for women's basketball here at UTSA? Obviously, you're trying to win a championship, get to the NCAA tournament, go as far as you can. But how do you continue to grow the sport? And obviously, NIL is something that Jeff Traylor's talked a lot about. Where does women's basketball need the most help and growth?
Ooh, that's a loaded question right there. You know, I think what we're trying to address some of the things that we need at UTSA. I mean, the building, you know, I think is going to be a huge recruiting tool for us, and a huge just addition for the girls.
Right.
You know, I mean,
a place to call home, really.
Absolutely. A place to shoot anytime you want to shoot, a weight room. Again, yeah, a place to call their own, and I think that's a huge move in the right direction. You know, I think we're trying to address some things that we need in a lot of areas, but you know, I mean, we keep the main thing. I mean, for us right now, it's just, you know, try to be a good product that people want to come watch, and I think we've done that, and we want to continue to do that. We want support from the community. We want to recruit San Antonio kids. I think that's been a big piece for us, and we want to continue to do that, and just keep building. You know, I mean, it's not that complicated, really.
Right.
I mean, you do the best you can, and you make a product on the floor that people like to come watch and support. And I think fans like our girls. I think they like the way we play, and I think they enjoy being around them.
Caitlin Clark got us things started the last couple of years with the games being on ABC in the finals, and we're seeing South Carolina and Tennessee play out here.
Big Monday. I can remember when women didn't play on Big Monday.
Exactly. That's another huge step, and just we're seeing it with WNBA expanding too. So this is a great product that continues to grow.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks so much, Karen,
Thank
and
you.
we'll look forward to next week. All right. We'll visit with Austin Claunch coming up here in the next segment. Chicken and Pickles, the place to come. It's the UTSA Basketball Radio Show's home, presented by UT Health San Antonio. We'll be back here again next Monday as well. Chicken and Pickle at UTSA Boulevard in Vance Jackson. It's the UTSA Basketball Radio Show on the UTSA Sports Network. Basketball radio show. The UTSA men's and women's basketball teams in action this week. Wednesday's games, the women are at South Florida and the men are at Florida Atlantic. Both games start at 5:30. The women on 93.3 The Bull and the men on Sports Radio AM 760 The Ticket, as both teams head to different places in Florida. We're joined by Austin Claunch, the UTSA men's basketball coach, and a big win over Temple to get back in the winner's circle this weekend. Hard-fought game, got a big lead, then held on at the end to get the win.
Yeah, like we said, last week, Andy, I feel like we've been playing better. And then it was good to finally, the UAB game, I thought we played well throughout the course and just didn't finish. A close game there at the end. North Texas, we started really slow, got it back close. So to play well and then finish the game, and listen, the crowd in the convo was awesome. It played a huge factor in the game, and it was a lot of fun. Obviously got a big lead early, and then against a good team, that they're going to make a run. It's hard to maintain a 16-point lead the entire game, and our guys just stayed with it and showed great resiliency and were able to pull it out. You've
had a short bench the last few games out of necessity, but they've all contributed, and not only did you get 5 in double figures and a double-double from Joe, but the guys that played off the bench contributed big for you as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Those guys, I thought Bob gave us great energy. I think we had 16 assists. Again, that's much improved over the last 5 or 6 games for us. Our assisted baskets are a big part of why we're playing well offensively. We have good offensive players, but our ability to share the ball and create open shots for one another is why we're scoring.
Tim and I on the broadcast Saturday, and I've said this a lot on the broadcast, going back to something you said earlier in the year, when you get stops and you get buckets, things are going well and you expand the lead. But there has to be a time where you match offensively. If they score, you got to go score. And I thought especially down the stretch against Temple, you're able to do that and then outscore them 10-2 in the last couple minutes of the game.
Yeah, some big-time shot making by our guys, and then we did a good job getting to the line as well. We got them to the line a little bit more than I wanted us to, but then we were able to get ourselves there playing downhill. Ray really set the tone at the beginning of the game, just able to get a couple of easy layups to get going, and then, of course, the way we're shooting it right now, if we're able to, combine layups, free throws with open threes, we'll have a chance to win every game.
Yeah, and everybody that's out there has three-point range. Some do it more efficiently than others, but you all have to at least honor that three-point threat defensively.
Yeah, no, and in league, we're shooting at a really high clip. Early on in the season, obviously, Damari, I think, leads the league in three-pointers per game, and Smurf and Primo are really shooting it at a high clip, and Ray's shooting at 39% in league, which was something that we saw him shoot really well all summer. I didn't think in the beginning of the year I was probably doing a good enough job and getting him in those positions to show, what he's capable of doing, and now you're seeing when he gets in rhythm shots, he's a high-level three-point shooter.
You mentioned a few minutes ago the convo was alive. You talked about that in our post-game show, and I go back to your introductory press conference, and a lot of people are critical of the arena and all that kind of stuff, but you coached at Nichols, you've coached other places, and that can be a very good home court advantage with the way the noise reverberates in there.
No, I felt it, and I felt that our guys fed off, the energy that was in there, and, a little bit with how we play too. We do shoot a lot of threes, and we make a lot of threes, and it's exciting when threes go in, you know. So, I think, again, I just thought that, I think that on top of, I thought we showed a ton of just grit and toughness. It's not just about shooting threes and running around. I felt that was on the board before the game. We talked about deflections and loose balls, and there was a couple of just tie-ups and loose balls that we were able to come up with it, played a factor. So, the style of play and just, how tough we played, I think the fans and I think the people respect that, and again, it's not about necessarily the size, it's the environment. And I just felt, we felt it the other day, and hopefully we're just getting started. I think we can continue to get people into the convo and make it one of the toughest places to play.
When the conference began, I think there were a lot of people that were saying this is Memphis's league to lose. Everybody else is maybe UAB and a couple others are right there, and then everybody else is the same. But Memphis has lost some games. UAB's lost some games, so it's a very competitive and parity-like league from probably 1 through 10, isn't it?
Yeah, no, on any given night, anyone in this league, it's been shown throughout the first however many games, however many weeks. Of course, those teams are playing well at the top. You look at, I guess, Memphis, UAB, and North Texas, I think all with one loss, or maybe UAB with 2 now after the Memphis game. But even the rest of us, there's moments where each one of us could say, hey, you point to that game or those couple of games, they look like they're as good as anybody in the league. So it's about finding consistency this time of the year and continuing to rely on your habits so that you're playing your best ball here in the next couple of weeks. You want to be playing your best ball into February, heading into March.
All right. Coming up next, we'll introduce you to Ray Horton, one of UTSA's starters and one of the top players on this team, and we'll get to that conversation coming up in just a bit. This season, Roadrunner free throws are going to count for more than a point. For every free throw UTSA men's and women's basketball teams score at home, Haven for Hope Shelter for the Homeless will receive a donation thanks to North Park Subaru. It's North Park Subaru's charity stripe benefiting Haven for Hope. It's the UTSA Basketball Radio Show on the UTSA Sports Network. men's team at Florida Atlantic and the women at South Florida coming up on Wednesday. It's our chance to visit with Raekwon Horton, one of UTSA's players. And welcome to the show, Ray. How are you doing tonight?
Doing good. Happy to be here, man.
Thanks for being with us. I've referred to you as the glue guy. You seem to have one of the highest basketball IQs that I've seen on a team in a long time. You do just about everything right. You make some big plays out there. Talk about that aspect of your game.
Just being around like winning programs. My last stop at JMU with Coach Byington, and then before that with PK at Charleston. So just picking up on like some of the habits and just trying to carry it over, do whatever.
When did your basketball career begin? How old were you when you started first playing organized basketball?
I was like a little kid, so like rate league, church league, so that's probably like 7, 8 or something like that.
When did you realize you were pretty good at it?
Man, in middle school, believe it or not, I got cut, so.
There's some inspiration right there, huh?
Yeah, facts. But probably like 10th grade, I started on varsity, so I was like, all right, might be all right for real.
All right, and you're from Santee, South Carolina, so tell us about that and growing up there and then making all your trips to get to San Antonio.
Santee is not really much. It's kind of like country. I mean, you can go hunting, you can go to the lake, ride four-wheelers, stuff like that. And then if you go to San Antonio, you probably go to Columbia, probably fly to Charlotte to San Antonio.
Yeah. What made you come to UTSA and work with this program here for your senior year?
Shout out to my guy, Coach Deloach, man. Hit me up. And then he plugged me in with Claunch, and we talked. So that's what I decided, relationship with the coaches.
All right, let's Austin talk about Ray and what he's meant to this program. He can shoot threes, he can rebound. The other day you had him playing point forward for a little bit as well.
Yeah, I mean he's somebody that you can really plug in anywhere. Now he's scoring it, more than he, as an older player, he's getting to really showcase what he's capable of doing. He can guard anybody on the floor. I think what he's going to mean for this program beyond the stats is just, he's your hardest playing guy. He values winning over everything. And that's proven. He's been to 2 NCAA tournaments with 2 different programs, hoping to, make it a third. And he's just somebody that you don't really you want him in the game all the time. I know sometimes I got to get him out of there and give him a little break, and it's just you feel better when he's out there, just because he's going to make a play that's going to impact the game.
Yeah, there was a game, Ray, not too long ago that you played all 40 minutes, and nobody realized that you played all 40 minutes. Do you ever ask for a rest, or are you just going to keep on going?
No, I don't never ask for a rest. Kind of get to the point where you you get tired, but you kind of forget about it for real. So then you just chilling.
You asked for a quick one last game. I was kind of surprised. We got him I think we got him a
41 seconds.
Yeah, we got him a 41 second. Yeah,
because I had some congestion, man. Damari Monsanto always sick in my face, man.
Damari's got everybody sick,
man.
So.
Yeah. All right. I did an interview with you earlier in the year and asked about your work ethic and what motivated all that. And you talked about your mom. Talk about her, the impact she's had on your life, and how she's influenced you as the person you are.
Oh, you said talk about her.
Yeah.
Man, shoot, for as long as I can remember, just my mom always doing what she got to do to make stuff work. She never really make excuses, so I just kind of looked at her and tried to be like her for real.
What was her profession? What did she do to help keep you and your family going all the time?
At first, she was a student. Then I watched a student become a teacher. Then she went back to school, and now she's an administrator. So she just never stopped. So I just try not to stop.
Yeah, just keep going. And how often do you get to talk to her and tell her about all the things you're doing well here at UTSA?
Me and my mama talk, if not every day, every other day. That's really, my best friend for real. If we out in public, you'll probably think that's my sister because she's kind of young. So, yeah, people mistake her for my sister sometimes.
When you got cut from that junior high basketball team, how did she motivate you to be the player that you are now?
She kept it real. She's like, maybe you're not that good. So, she just, talked around, probably found some people to help me work out and stuff like that.
Austin, how important is it to have guys on a team like Ray that can do so many things and not only know what they're supposed to do regardless of what position they're playing, but know where everybody else is supposed to be as well?
Well, they're the most important kind of people in any organization that you have, whether it's a sports team or whatever you're trying to put together. You got to have people that value, winning and building something over maybe their own individual play or statistic for that night. And I think that's, and you flip and see that Ray is still averaging whatever he is, 13 points. He's shooting 40% from three in league play, and that's awesome. But he, this is a guy that literally just shows up every single day, does his job. He's the hardest playing guy every single practice, every single rep. And that's the type of stuff when you're trying to, build something here, for long-term success. It starts with guys that you had in your program from day one that kind of set that tone. The other thing people probably don't know is if he doesn't want to try to go play professional basketball next year, I've got a free safety for Coach Traylor right here.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
This guy's a huge football fan, and so, he's always on me about, after practice, Coach, I got to get home and play NCAA football, and so, you get one more year of eligibility for another sport.
Did you play football in high school?
Yeah, I play quarterback and safety, but really I like defense, though.
You get to hit somebody, right?
Yeah.
There you go. Ray, thanks so much. All the best to you as we go forward. We'll do this again down the road, but whatever you do, I'm sure you'll do well at it. Thanks for being with us tonight.
Appreciate you having me.
All right. That's Raekwon Horton out here with us at Chicken and Pickle. It's the UTSA Basketball Radio Show. Texas Farm Bureau members can get 2 free tickets to Roadrunner football, basketball, and baseball games when you redeem online. Visit goutsa.com/TFB tickets to learn more and request tickets. One more segment to go, and we'll wrap things up next from out here at Chicken and Pickle. It's the UTSA Coaches Show on the UTSA Sports Network.
If you
Basketball radio show. Austin Claunch with us in this final segment. And we'll be off to Boca Raton tomorrow and a game with FAU on Wednesday. Talk about this version of the Owls. They went to the Final Four 2 years ago, but a little bit different team. Hold up. Let's try that. There we go.
Yeah, Coach Jacobs is doing a really good job. They're very balanced, very skilled. They're going to put you in a lot of different, ball screens and different alignments. And then they can stretch you with three-point shooting, and they've got two really good post players too, and they come off the bench with another really good post player. So talented team that's played a grueling non-conference schedule too. Don't be fooled by their record. They played some really good teams in the non-conference, and then going on the road is always tough. They played really well yesterday at North Texas. I think they were up 8 in the second half at one point. So it's going to be a challenge, and we've got to. We're coming off a good defensive effort against Temple. We've got to carry that with us on the road.
Does this team feel comfortable on the road now? It seems like the last couple of road games after Tulane, you feel like you're in a better spot, and you don't have the convo noise to come on your favor. But I thought the UAB game and certainly the Rice game, we were more comfortable there.
Yeah, no doubt. No, I think again, I think we're just in a better rhythm as a whole. Just with our rotations and just, guys starting to really get comfortable knowing, what they need to do and, in order to help us win, regardless if that's home or away. If you want to be a serious player in this conference, you've got to be able to take your show on the road and go beat good teams. And that's our challenge, and that's what we plan on doing this week. It's
a full week road trip, basically, because we'll stay out and play North Texas, and kind of weird that you're playing a Florida school and a Texas school both on the road in 5 days.
Yeah, no, it's two again, really well coached teams. First time seeing FAU, and then obviously, North Texas got us down here a couple weeks ago. So this is, we've looked at this sort of, like a championship kind of week. If you're a team that really wants to, try to hang banners and build something, then you've got to be able to go on the road against these kind of teams and show that you can compete and win these kind of games. So, one day at a time. Need to have a good practice and prep tomorrow night. And then that gives you an opportunity to earn the right to win and go get it done on Wednesday.
I was talking to Karen about this earlier, a couple of things, and we were talking about the success of Pat Mahomes with the Chiefs, and he seems to always win the big game. What is it about star players or really good players that you've coached over the years where I think they enjoy the moment. They like being in that situation because they're prepared to be successful.
Well, Karen's a Chiefs fan, and I'm a Cowboys fan, so that's probably my problem right there. But no, I just think, listen, there's there's some of those, guys that you just coach that they kind of just have that it. What is it? And the harder it gets, the better they seem to play, and they almost seem to relish that moment. And I think that comes with just over time, and it's hard to pick out in recruiting necessarily, but once you've had a guy for a little while, and I do feel like we have those guys that they embrace the challenge of what we're trying to do here and playing in these tough games.
You you're building a program. This is your first year. This team is right at 500 right now. How do you coach this team and get it ready for the tournament and all that stuff, while at the same time building for the future, looking for the right donations, the right donors, building schedules, all that stuff that goes with building a program?
Listen, the only thing I'm really worried about is tomorrow's practice, right? And I think if we keep showing up and playing a style and a brand of basketball that people in San Antonio and our university can appreciate, people will continue to show up and support. I mean, like I said, the atmosphere and the combo was the difference in the game against Temple. A great team that, and our guys were ready to go and play in front of our crowd. And we're just trying to, we're just trying to make the right next play. We say it all the time, have good practices, build your preparation, and certainly lay a foundation and build habits they're going to carry into year 2 and 3. So, I like where this team is, but we've got a lot of work to do, and I know that these guys want to do a lot of work to ultimately finish these last, whatever it is, 5-6 weeks off the right way.
Awesome. Well, we'll look forward to the trip tomorrow. Best of luck as we get ready for Florida Atlantic, and look forward to the flight to Boca tomorrow.
Yep. Thanks, Andy.
All right. Thanks so much.
Yep.
That's Austin Claunch with us. Thanks to Karen Aston. Thanks to Ray Horton. And also thanks to Cheyenne Rowe, who was with us a little bit earlier on the show. UTSA women's basketball, 5:30 on Wednesday from South Florida. Neil Raphael has the call on KRPT 93.3. UTSA at Florida Atlantic for the men, 5:30 on Sports Radio AM 760. The Ticket. 5:30 on Wednesday night. Have a great evening, everyone. Thanks to Shane Carter for producing today's show. It's the UTSA Basketball Radio Show on the UTSA Sports Network.